Jai Gurudev, so lovely to be here. This is a hard question for me actually, because it includes the divinity. You see, my experiences in life, you have many ranges of love. There's the human love, there's the very conditional love. If you give me this, I'll give you that. It's not really love. But then there's also that unconditional aspect, which is the divine aspect. And in my journey of life and my journey of spirituality, I've experienced that many, many times. Like that love from the Divine Mother herself, or love from my spiritual master. And it's so encompassing, it's so far-reaching, it's so beyond the box of human love. It's in some ways it's difficult to talk about that, because it's something that you can't really understand with the mind. Of course, the heart understands it. I think one of the first experiences that I've really had with my spiritual master, where I was looking for something, and even if you are in, let's say, when you're completely freshly fully in love with somebody, and then you go through the honeymoon period and you're out the other side of the honeymoon period, you're looking for something. And in life I was still looking for something, and the moment that he walked into that room and the whole room filled up with this incredible love, and my heart opened, my heart instantly knew I'm looking for that divine love. And to define this love, it's so multifaceted. It's like a diamond with many sides. It supports you, it's been with you, it's eternally part of you, and yet it's the thing that you most relish more than anything else. And my experience is that everybody is looking for this love, this true, authentic, unconditional love. And if they say they're not looking for it, I don't think that's true. I think that everybody's looking for it. They're lying. But this love is so it's so intrinsically deep that it's got the ability to touch you much, much greater than anything else in life. And that's why people look for this. You don't explain it. You help them to feel it. Well, that happens obviously in my path, it happens through sacred ceremony, where we connect with the divine, we invite the divine to come to be in our presence. And then often what happens in the process of the sacred ceremony is whereby the people feel connected, or they feel something shifting, or they feel the presence of the divine. And in many ways, that's one way that people get that feeling and that connection with the divinity and the divine. Another way is through connecting with my spiritual master, Paramahamsa Vishwananda. A lot of people, I remember many years ago, I was at a darshan with my spiritual master, Paramahamsa Vishwananda, and I was sitting on one side of the room, and there was this line of people going up to get a blessing from him. And two of these guys, they were like Hell's Angels motorcyclists. They had all the tattoos up both arms, they had the piercings through the nose and the ears, they had the, like the Viking plaits in their beards. And I was thinking, wow, these guys, they're in the wrong place. Like, seriously, what are they doing here? And they were going up to receive this blessing from my spiritual master. And when they arrived, they were kneeling in front of him, and he placed his hand on their heads, and I could see them shaking. And I was thinking, wow, these Hell's Angels motorcyclists are having a Kundalini experience, because they were shaking, But when they turned round, their whole face and their beard was already wet with tears, because this power of this love was so deep. It doesn't matter kind of like what you are on the outside, but it's that love that touches you so deeply that many people experience this love, irregardless of the walk of life that they come from, their experience of life. When they experience that love, what he does is he just reflects back in this experience called darshan. He reflects back your divinity. And many people don't have the opportunity or don't perceive the love of the divine inside another person. They may perceive a little fraction of it. But in that experience of darshan, What my spiritual master does is he reflects back that divinity that he sees inside of you. He sees it directly, and he, let's say, clears away the darkness so that light can be perceived and felt inside of you. And that's one way in which many people can experience this love very easily. They don't have to do anything. A lot of the time they just turn up without expectation, and they will begin to perceive or experience that love that's been hidden inside of them for a very long time. Absolutely not. I was kind of like, there was still the question mark there in the air. I'd pretty much done everything I wanted to do in life. I was perhaps maybe thinking of getting married, round about that stage. I was in a relationship, and I was just asked, if I'd like to go and see Paramahamsa Vishwananda for a darshan. And I'd already met a few other great saints, and I thought, well, why not? I'll go along and see what it's like. But I went with a lot of expectation. I was expecting to see some visions, have some mystical experiences, and when I went up for the blessing, I was expecting that I'll see this golden light and this incredible vision and sparkling stars or whatever it might be. And instead, he just looked deep into my eyes. He gave me this really beautiful smile, and he gave me that blessing. He held my head between his hands, and he just looked deeply into my eyes, through my eyes, to whatever he was looking at, and apparently the soul. And I was thinking, okay, this is it. The magic's going to be revealed. I was waiting for the let's say the curtains of life to be pulled back, and God in his great awesomeness would be revealed, but nothing happened. And so at the end of that darshan, of course, there was no divine revelation, so I was quite disappointed. So this was my first experience, and the second experience was also the same. Like, I was really expecting for something to happen, and after the darshan, I went and sat back down in my chair, and I was sitting there, and I was closed my eyes, like I was really like getting myself ready for the moment to arrive, like it's going to happen any moment now. And I was telling myself the divinity was going to reveal itself to me, because of course, why not? Why would not God reveal himself to me right there and then? And I guess I was a bit egotistical. And what happened was nothing happened. So of course, again, I left, and I was very disappointed. And much later, I understood, like, in the way that Paramahamsa Vishwananda works, he understands intuitively the limitations that we project, and this comes from the mind, and the mind is limited. So he doesn't want to fulfill a limited condition. He wants you to go beyond that. He wants to go beyond the mind. So often what he does is he doesn't fulfill those expectations. So what you do is eventually you drop those expectations because you've been disappointed. That's exactly how he worked with me. He knew that I was expecting God to reveal himself, these divine visions, whatever I had in my fantasy mind. He didn't give it. So I was very disappointed. I didn't expect anything from him anymore. And that's when the magic happened, when I dropped the expectation.